So today's our last day of the triangles that we've been working with and all the geometry that we have been doing. Today, your learning target is to use facts about the angle criterion for similarity. I know that sounds weird. Maybe you don't know what any of those words mean, but I will describe it in a little bit. So we're moving on to something called similarity of triangles. It's not as difficult as it sounds. Your success criteria is to determine if two triangles are similar. I'm going to show you how to do that. Your lesson is 11-5 in digits, and then we will have an assessment the next time we meet. It will be in digits this time. You can try the problems over and over again. And the lesson that we're going to go over today does have one or two problems like it. So what you're going to notice today is that you have two triangles in every problem. Well, sometimes you'll have more, but most of the time you'll have two triangles in the picture, and they're asking you if they're similar. So I've made it a lot larger for you to see. I'm going to make it a little smaller so I can use my pen. And I'm just going to show you this symbol that's here, right there. So that little mark that looks like that, that's called a tilde. If you have read Spanish before, it's the same symbol. So like if you speak Spanish, when you see that, I'm not drawing it very well with this pen, but if you speak Spanish, you know that instead of an N sound, that makes a ñ sound, like mañana. So it's similar to that. It's called a tilde, but it doesn't mean the same thing as it does in Spanish. That in math means the word similar. And in math, what similar means, pretty close to what it means in the real world. Similar means that you've got the same shape and the same angles, but they're not the same size. So I'm going to put size and that through it. So if you look, those two triangles are definitely not the same size. One is bigger and the other is smaller, but they have the same angles, or they might have the same angles. It's your job to figure out if they do or not. So in order for them to be similar, they do need to have the same angles. We need these to be the same angles. So we're basically back to that whole concept of the three angles inside the triangle need to add up to 180 degrees. So today, still using that handy dandy calculator. I hope you notice that those two are the same. They both say 44, which means this one, which is 32, that one's not labeled, it just says S. That one better be 32 for these to be similar. So they've given you two pieces of information for each triangle. So you could use whichever one you wanted. So if you want to use the larger triangle, you would do 180 minus 32 minus 44. And hopefully that equals 72. That's what we need this one to be. Does this one equal 72? Or does that one equal 32? It's our job to figure out. Or you could have used the smaller triangle and you can do 180 minus 44 minus 72, and that better equal 32. So if this one that I just drew equals 32, then our triangles are similar. If this one over here equals 72, then the triangles are similar. You only have to check one. You don't have to check both. So I'm going to open up that Desmos calculator real quick. That's in your backpack as well. You can use your phone, whatever you want to do. And I'm going to go ahead and do the one to the right, 180 minus 32 minus 44. So 180 minus 32 minus 44 is 104. That does not, let me double check my numbers, 32, 44. 104 does not match the 72 that was in the other triangle. So these are not similar. So I would hit no, and I would move on. Most of your assignment looks like this. On this one, it has three triangles. So the concept is the same. I noticed that all of them have 44. I'm going to make this, if you're at school, I'll just say the numbers because you might not be able to see them because they're pretty small. Okay, so we've got 44, 44, 44. So they all have a 44 in common. And if you notice the other three numbers, none of them are the same. So there's no way that all three of them are similar. If they were, I would need to have two numbers that were the same, and I don't. But two of them could be similar. So what you would have to do is check two of them. You would go back to your calculator. I would suggest just leaving the numbers there, and that way you don't have to keep typing the 180 and the minus. So watch what I do. I'm going to do J. J says 44 and 103. So I am just going to change the 32 to 103 because I already had a 44. Oh, look, I got a 33. And if you look, this one has 33 as well. So I know that those two for sure are similar, and I only needed to check one of them. There's no way that this one is going to be similar because it has a 63, and my other two pictures do not have a 63. So then it would just be the JKL, which was the top one, and the bottom one, GHI. Those would be similar. The triangle within a triangle. So the top triangle, oh, there we go. Let me outline that in red. So we've got a 104 and a 32. And then for the other one, it's this big blue triangle. And if you look, they both have 104 in the top part of the triangle. So both of them have a 104, okay? So that's, even though it looks like there's only one 104, there's actually two of them. There's one inside the small triangle, and there's one inside the bigger triangle. So the little triangle is 104 and 32. And the bigger triangle is 104, and I can't see that anymore. So let me hit close, and 44. All right, so I'm going to go to my calculator, and I'm just going to check the top one, 104, 32, and the other number better be 44, like that bottom corner. And if it is, we're good to go. And if it's not, then it's not similar. So 104, 32. See, if you keep it, you don't have to type so much. I've got my stuff in the way. Okay, look, it's 44. That's what we're looking for. It matches what's in the bottom there. So my answer is yes. I hope this assignment is super easy for you.